I still can't believe they're making a fourth one. Alright, you know the drill. Month by month, here we go. Toy Story. So Toy Story is the first full-length feature film from Pixar Animation Studios. It came out around Thanksgiving 1995, so a little over 23 years ago. And yeah, not only is it the first movie from Pixar, but it's also the first movie of its kind, meaning it's the first feature film to be completely CG. You know, CG characters in a CG environment for a whole hour and 20 minutes. Pretty groundbreaking and revolutionary if you ask me. And it was also a pretty smart move to make it kid-friendly. So Toy Story takes place in a world where when the kids are away, their toys come to life and have lives of their own. So the main kid in this movie is Andy Davis. And yeah, let me just say real quick that the fact that the kid's name in this movie is Andy, which is also my name, and the fact that this movie came out in 1995, just like me, that gives me enough reason to have a sentimental attachment to this movie, as if there isn't reason enough already. So the movie starts out, Andy's a little kid, he's got his toys. His favorite toy being Sheriff Woody Pride, voiced by Tom Hanks. And life is good, you know, Woody loves being Andy's favorite toy, but not for selfish reasons, you know? He sees the point of being a toy not as just being played with, but being there for their owner when they're needed, which is one of the biggest points of the whole Toy Story franchise, really, which is great. And yeah, all these toys are voiced by legendary comedians and actors. You got Rex, voiced by Wally Shawn, Mr. Potato Head, voiced by Don Rickles, rest in peace. Bo Peep, voiced by Annie Potts, who's kind of a love interest with Woody. They got a little like romance thing going on. So anyway, life is good for all these toys when Andy's birthday party comes up and he gets a brand new toy. Buzz Lightyear, voiced by Tim Allen. And as Andy would describe him later on, Buzz Lightyear is the coolest toy ever, but that does raise a couple problems for Woody and the gang. First off, Buzz has completely replaced Woody as Andy's favorite toy, and therefore becomes insanely popular among Andy's other toys, making Woody extremely jealous. But the problems do not stop there. Buzz Lightyear is completely delusional. He thinks he is the actual Buzz Lightyear. He doesn't even think or know he's a toy. Maybe it's because he's fresh out of the packaging or something. So Woody now has to deal with this delusional toy who thinks he's an actual space ranger who is stealing his spotlight. And the movie goes on from there. And this movie's great for a few reasons, not just because it's the first movie of its kind and it's revolutionary in that sense, but as a movie itself, it's really good. The voice acting is great, the humor's really funny. In fact, some of the humor in this film I watched when I was a kid and some of the jokes went over my head, but I watched the movie now and I'm like, oh my god, some of these jokes are adult jokes. They're not too inappropriate, you know, it's still a kid-friendly movie in every sense of the word. It's rated G. But you know, when Mr. Potato Head takes his mouth off and he does this gesture, that went over my head as a kid and I watch it now and I was like, haha. That's funny. You know, there's humor like that throughout the movie. And another thing, like you watch this movie now and you're like, okay, the animation is not even a little dated, it's very dated. Toy Story really shows its age. But of course that is forgivable, that's no points off the movie. Again, because it's the first of its kind and the story's really good. And everything else about it is really good, including the music. The music in Toy Story was done by renowned singer-songwriter Randy Newman, who not only wrote one of the most memorable animated movie scores of all time, but also wrote some legendary songs that will always be remembered by everyone who lives. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Everyone knows that song, it's classic. But the other underappreciated songs in this movie, Strange Things and I Will Go Sailing No More, they're also really good. Some things in this movie story-wise, you're like, that wouldn't happen realistically. Like, I don't know if a real Buzz Lightyear toy holding a Sheriff Woody doll would glide in the air for that long. But again, you roll with it, not just because the story's really good, but at this point, because of the nostalgia. Because Toy Story is an absolute classic. If you haven't seen Toy Story at this point, I would consider you not human. Everyone has seen the Toy Story movies. Like, you have to in order to be human. Lovable characters, great voice acting, great timeless humor. The animation is dated, but that's okay. And a great soundtrack to boot. The Toy Story movies, man. Seriously, one of the greatest movie trilogies of all time. It's right up there with Star Wars. So Toy Story, I know you've seen it. What do you think about it and how does it rank among all the Toy Story movies or Pixar movies for you? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And yes, I will be making videos about the second and third movies before the fourth one comes out. Don't worry, I got you covered. And don't forget to subscribe.